Hello everyone, first video for ages now. Reason being I've had the flu, Gary's had the flu, Christmas in a way, so we ain't really had much chance, or to be perfectly honest, been in the mood for doing any videos. It's been a bit of a struggle to even bother, but hopefully now we're back on track. Thanks for all the new subscribers and all the supporters of the channel, and it's starting to build quite nicely. Obviously the more subscribers we get, more comments we get. We're going to do a few more videos and all sorts of funny stuff if we can find it, and we're going to put some, some good stuff up, so stay tuned, and hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Right, here we go. Got a couple of little gems for you tonight. We've only got 3. So what we do is we go through the videos, tell you a little bit about the videos, and just have a little chat about movies, I suppose, and whatever you want to chat about, to be honest.
Well,
go for it.
Okay, this first one, this is called Blue Sunshine, and this was made in the 70s, and it's do you want to push it up a bit further to the camera so they get an idea what's going on there.
Don't know where to begin with that one, mate.
Yeah, it's quite weird actually. This is
looks it.
It's all about some hippies that took a drug back in the 60s.
Right.
And the lethal side effects don't come out until like about 10 years later, when they've all got good jobs and they're all professional work and everything. And it's directed by a guy called Zalman, or no, I think he's in it, Zalman King, who made a few like softcore porn films and stuff in the 90s. I think he's the main actor in it actually. He's on the back cover. But I mean, yeah, it's good. I mean, it's got that typical 1970s trippy feel to it, a bit psychedelic. The girl on the cover, obviously all her hair falls out because of the effects of this drug. And
where is she there?
She's in like an apartment there. As you can see, she's got like a bread knife.
Right.
And she's freaked out. And
for some reason I thought it was a razor. It's like one of the disposable Bic razors that sort of killed the theme of the film a little bit for me. But
I mean, the opening scene of the film is hilarious. Well, it's hilarious. I mean, it gives you a bit of a jolt, because they're all in this house having a party, all celebrating 10 years of knowing each other, and the guy's got a wig on, and the wig falls off, and all his hair is all like strands and that, and the way the camera zooms into his face and his eyes, it's really, especially on a big screen, it's really in your face,
What was the other film that was filmed like that, where it kept zooming into that weird goat face?
Oh, that was, I think that was Driller Killer, when it kept going into the eye of the buffalo.
Yeah, that's right. That's a movie you should see, Driller Killer.
Yeah.
Okay, how would you explain it?
Well, I mean, when it first came out, it was banned, wasn't it? It was a so-called video nasty. When you watch it now, it isn't really as bad as back then, maybe,
tame, probably now.
This was, but I bought this in a shop in the West End. It's not there anymore. It was called Vinyl Experience in Hanway Street, round the back of what used to be the Virgin Megastore, and it was.
What's that? Off of Tottenham Court Road.
Yeah, off of Tottenham Court Road.
Tottenham Court Road, for anyone that lives in America, that's sort of like, how would you say? It's like the Oxford Street's like the hub of shopping, isn't it?
Right,
and some real odd shops
round the back of those streets. And that there used to be a lot of little record shops and video shops, and that's what this was. It was a record shop, but upstairs was all like cult films and VHS videos like this. I mean, this is out on DVD, I think, but only in America. I've never seen it in the UK. So, but yeah, that's
another one that's probably been deleted and never to be returned.
I shouldn't think so. Yeah.
So I was looking in the loft, funny enough, today in the attic, and I didn't realise I've got a VHS player up there.
Oh right.
That's in a box that's almost new. Yeah. So if we wanted to test anything or try anything, maybe one day I could bring a small TV or something to set it up, or even somehow if I can work out a way of transferring the video onto the YouTube channel, and just show a couple of clips. of the movie, maybe, you know, just to give people an idea of the trash we watch. Right, I can see the next one.
Yeah.
And I remember actually, I think I bought this.
This is one that you bought and kindly donated to me.
Yeah.
And it was, there you go. This was a, that's it, it's The Forest.
There you go. Classic film. Sorry about the phone ringing in the background, but obviously not a professional studio, this one. Just sitting at the dining room table, to be honest. So we're not in the shed tonight. Getting over this flu, I don't think it's a good idea to sit out there tonight.
It's cold out there, I reckon.
But years ago, what we normally used to do is just go for the cover, and if there was a woman with a sort of scantily clad outfit on,
of course,
we tended to go for that sort of cover.
In distress and stuff like that, you know.
No idea what the film would be about, but if there was a decent woman on the front, then why not?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And I think you'll find that's on Cobra Video, that is. I mean, the story of that is basically the usual story. Gang of hitchhikers, normally teenage co-eds with goofy guys in tow with them, go hiking, and one by one get picked off by some lunatic that's living up there in the woods, like, you know. But I mean, once again, sort of thing that I couldn't imagine ever coming out on DVD, because probably not the demand for it.
There's one, it says Dean Russell is in it. You don't think he's related to Kurt Russell, do you?
No, I don't know. I mean, I would say that's probably around about early 80s, 83, 84, that film.
Yeah, I can't see a date.
I mean, it's quite graphic in places, actually. I mean, the murder scenes are quite graphic. I'm surprised it hasn't been, rescued from some vault and put out on one of those new DVD
like Last House on the Left and stuff like that.
Cleaned up, you know, and because at the moment there's loads of stuff coming out in the UK on Arrow films, they're called, and they're releasing loads of stuff on Blu-ray, loads of horror films, Italian ones, all different ones. And the other day I happened to come across one in HMV, one of our old favourites, Blood Diner, which is now out on Blu-ray. So
classic film, that.
I mean, Blood Diner was good on VHS, so it's got to be even better in Blu-ray.
Yeah, I mean, when we get a chance, we'll bring out the collection of Vipco horrors from the 80s.
Yeah, and the vaults of Vipco.
I'm trying to think of what one of the Vipcos we got that's we've watched over and over again. I can't remember the name of it. The one where the girl turns into they go in a house, like a haunted house, and there's she's got all the stockings and suspenders on, and I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
The Last Night of something, innit?
Oh, I can't remember now.
But we've got loads of them.
We have to look through the archives for that one. Yeah.
I mean, we got hundreds in the loft. Pretty much untouched and still in good condition, just sitting on a shelf up there.
I mean, the Vipco ones, the ones that everyone knows mostly, the most famous ones are things like zombie flesh eaters and that sort of like them sorts of stuff, like Rabid and stuff like that. But the one you're talking about, it wasn't a Linda Blair one, was it? Like Hell Night or something? Or...
Very similar, because she was one of our favourites, Linda Blair. Also, obviously famous for Exorcist, Savage Streets, things like that.
Yeah. Chained Heat.
Chained Heat. Yeah, I knew you'd remember that. Chained Heat was like a
girls in prison thing,
a bit
like exploitation.
Porn fest almost.
In a way, I mean, quite a lot of nudity in it, and I mean, the usual story, like the warden's crooked, the woman in charge of the women prisoners is crooked. There's some guy outside who's paying them to come out, dressing them up for entertain his clients, and then they go back in prison for the night. The usual story, But yeah, all good fun,
I mean, these films we were watching 20 years ago, 30 years ago maybe, and it all seems to, it never leaves you, these sort of stories and actors, and sometimes you'll see an actor nowadays that weren't even famous back. Kevin Costner was in one, wasn't he? Years ago that we watched, a really cheap horror, he was in the background, and you think, real bad acting.
Was that Massacre at Central High? Was that
something like that?
Was he in that?
Got a little vision here. Hang on a minute.
Oh right. Don't forget, of course, there was Kevin Bacon was in Friday the 13th, wasn't he?
That's right.
The first one. We've got another horror fan here.
Yeah.
Likes horrors as well.
Another little horror fan called Rosie. The camera, babe. Who's this? She's come along. She was just passing by, so I thought I'd nab her and get her on YouTube just to say hello. Isn't it, girl?
Yeah.
Don't mind the odd horror film, do you? Hey? Go on then. Once you get down.
Yeah, but she does watch TV, didn't she, sometimes?
Yeah, she's a funny little girl. She sits there watching all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Unusual for a dog to be into TV that much, but
Yeah.
obviously.
Remember that night when I put two films in front of her? She tapped the
She
one.
chose one, yeah, what one to watch. Yeah, that's
I
right.
think it was she wanted to watch Leprechaun.
That's right. Yeah, she's probably mentally unstable now. After that. What else we got?
Yeah, well, the last one. This is good. Yeah, it's a good film. It's the cover. The cover's really quite bizarre. It's like put it into you can see it's like a face, and the devil is in the middle there, and there's the actor.
He looks like the guy out of Exorcist.
Yeah,
Jason, someone.
His name's James Farentino, and he's like one of those actors that you see in those things in the 70s. But it's really good. It's about a girls' school, and some sort of like evil presence gets into the girls' school. And it's not a very long film. It's only about an hour and 10 minutes, I think. Probably made for TV.
Oh, it's 71 minutes. Yeah.
But it's really good. And it's got some good effects in it. And the actress in it, she's one of them actresses that she's been in loads of weird things in the 70s. But I think her name is Joan something. What's the name on there? Joan Hackett or something?
Yeah, Joan Hackett.
Joan Hackett. Yeah, she's been in like. She's one of them actresses. She's got a sort of an innocent-looking face, but she's been in loads of them things like Night Gallery and like Outer Limits and Twilight Zone sorts of things, you know, over the years. But she's really good in that, and it's a good film. It's yeah, I mean, it's once again I got it at a boot sale somewhere, and don't think it's out on DVD.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. But it is on a Warner home video, which is unusual for our collection.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, normally our stuff is like, as you know, is like Cobra Video, the Video Movie Company, and Clatterbox Films and things like that. You know.
What was that film that was out on Colourbox? I think I mentioned it before. There was a film on Colourbox. That was the label, and I remember a woman being tied upside down with her mouth stitched.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, that sounds like one of them, a bit of a Dario Argento sort of thing, didn't it?
It was, but it actually said Linda Blair was in it.
Yeah.
But when you watch the film, she's not in it.
She's not in it. Yeah.
No, so I'm not sure how they get away with that sort of thing when they they advertise a video.
It's like they put someone on the front cover who's not in the film or anything, you know. But Colourbox was good. Yeah, I mean. Was it Ghost House? Was that on
Ghost House? That's exactly what it was. Yeah. I knew it. That was the one where she had her mouth stitched up, and she was hung above a fire, and the family come home and turn the fire on, and not realising, I think it was their mum or something, up inside the chimney. Yeah. So they're cooking her alive. We watch some amazing stuff. We do.
Well, back in the 80s, when we first started watching videos, you know, we had like a video rental shop. And everyone got on the bandwagon. I mean, even your local newsagent would have a few videos for rent, you know. And there was always these kinds of films, you know. And when you're a 16, 17-year-old, these are the things you want to see. You're not interested in seeing like love and romance.
I forgot newsagents did videos. Yeah, that's right.
You're not interested in love and romance. You want like a bit of gore and that, you know, a bit of terror. And basically, I mean, you know, there used to be a shop in Romford. And it was a place that sold air guns and camping equipment. Yeah. And it was the first place I remember where they actually sold videos. And what should be looking at me one day, which is probably the reason why I was always wanting to see it, was The Hills Have Eyes. And that picture of Michael Berryman looking out like that bald head and that. And that was right in the window. Yeah. So obviously, you know, it was always like...
It was meant to be.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a match made in heaven. But we've watched strange stuff over the years, you know. We like a bit of comedy and thriller as well.
Yeah,
A really good film that I noticed the other day that I had up in the loft was the film with Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Oh, Blue Steel.
Yeah, what a film!
Yeah.
God, if you like a thriller, Blue Steel, great film. It's like a possessive lover she meets.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's a cop, and it's hell, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
what she goes through to try.
Well, there has been some really good. I mean, apart from the horror films, and that has been some great thrillers over the years. Like you said, Blue Steel.
Yeah.
You know, loads. I mean, it was a regular thing in the video shop.
Yeah.
You had the thriller section, didn't you? And you know, I mean, Al Pacino, stuff like that. But
another film, because I've got a poster of it in the shed, was People Under the Stairs.
yeah,
It's a bit of a horror and it's a bit of a drama and a bit of a comedy, I suppose, isn't it? All of it, all at once.
yeah, I like that. I mean, that was only on the other night on the Horror Channel because they're showing a Wes Craven season.
Yeah.
And last night there was Shocker was on there.
Yeah.
The old classic Shocker.
Yeah.
And,
No, unreal.
yeah.
Well, as you can hear, there's someone at the door, so I'm going to pause the video for a second and be back in a sec. Right, we're back.
Back.
Delivery, that's all it was.
Pizza delivery?
No, it was actually chippings for Rabbit.
Oh,
for the rabbit.
Oh,
at the back, we've got Rabbit as well.
Yeah. Rabbit with issues.
Yeah, oh yes, it's nuts, absolutely nuts. But yeah, while we were waiting for the delivery, Gary mentioned about a couple of films you bought the other day.
Yeah, I was just saying about I mean, obviously the horror films, you know, there's so many coming out now, and a lot of them are the same, you know, so they're always looking for new ideas. And I happened to chance upon one the other day called Teeth. And I thought to myself, well, this looks unusual, this looks different, you know, and I started watching and I thought, oh, perhaps it's the usual run-of-the-mill kind of thing, but it actually developed into something quite interesting, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit close to the bone, that film,
bit close to the knuckle.
Not one for the kids.
Basically, the girl has got teeth, so that when she's making love, you know, if the other party upsets her, something nasty happens, you know. So they have to pretend, they have to be nice to her. I can't really say much more about it than that, really. It's an odd film. It's one worth searching out and having a look, you know.
Yeah. I was doing some 3D printing earlier in the shed, and I put on Clockwork Orange again.
Yeah.
Like watched a bit of it. I don't know why. I just can't help watching that film.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's completely weird and macabre and a bit much in places, but it's just something watchable about it.
It's just typical. Once again, you know, the way it was filmed and everything. Filmed in the 70s, early 70s, but it just looks so futuristic, doesn't it?
And that was filmed in Thamesmead,
it was
in London, in some of it.
Thamesmead Estate, which I think a lot of it is probably, you know, still the same.
Yeah.
Because those parts of London don't often get sort of like, you know, renovated or anything.
And the actual flat where it was filmed, I don't know if you can actually go visit it, but apparently whoever owns the flat has left it the same as when it was filmed. It's a bit of a
people can go and have a look at
it. It's a little bit of a, you know, a tourist trap there. I'm not sure if the guy charges for you to go up, but outside the tower block there's an actual plaque on the wall that says Clockwork Orange was filmed here with Malcolm McDowell and
it's brilliant. I mean,
it's such a good film.
Yeah, good. All of, you know, good stuff. You know. But I mean, another one that I watched last night actually, which I've had for a while, what you donated to me, which I haven't got around to watching it, was one called Dead Snow.
Yeah, is that the one with the German on the front?
Yeah, the Nazis and that are in the snow and that was quite outrageous. It was, I think it was a foreign film. I think it was made in Norway or Sweden because it's subtitles.
Right.
But once again, it's like that Teeth. It's like it's got comedy in it, really. I mean, some parts just make you laugh, you know, the things they come out with. But yeah, that's quite terrifying in places, especially when they're on the run from these like Nazi zombies, you know. And of course, you know, with the big screen, and it's all white because it's all set in the snow. It makes it look even better because they're all grey, you know.
What's the film I gave you, or we watched together, where the Nazi zombies come out of the water?
Yeah, that was. Funny enough, I mentioned that to my cousin the other night because he's a big Peter Cushing fan.
Right.
And he's in that. It's called SS Shockwaves.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Vhs. That's a Vhs classic.
Mm.
Yeah, they're all on like an island or something, aren't they? And they come out of the water.
Right. What was I was trying to think of it the other day. What is the film where they're sitting in a cinema and they all start breaking out, and then you've got a black guy in it with just sideburns?
Just the one with the lamb chop sideburns.
Yeah. That's no hair, just sideburns. Very weird.
Yeah, that's Demons.
Demons. Oh,
yeah.
Dario Argento.
Yeah. That's brilliant. That's great. Yeah,
that's one to look out for. If you can get that on DVD, or even even if you can, no doubt on YouTube.
Yeah.
Being YouTube, you probably get a.
Yeah, it's quite funny because the
brilliant.
The first time that I've got it on DVD, but we had it on video, didn't we?
That's right.
And
yeah.
We watched it, and because it's Italian, and it's been dubbed. So the black guy with the lamb chop sideburns, it's quite funny when he's trying to, like, the things he comes out with, like the way they've dubbed his voice in. And yeah, it's just great, and it's just mad, isn't it? Once it gets going, it's just mad.
Yeah, it gets to the point, I think, where a helicopter comes through the roof, don't it? And crashes in through the cinema. But if you're into sort of horrors that are quite shocking and funny in places, even when they're not meant to be, that is one to look out for, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Over the years, we've seen so many that I couldn't even begin to list them down. To be honest.
Yeah. I mean, we try and talk about ones that have not been out on DVD, or ones that are a bit unusual or different. But I mean, obviously, there's so many out there.
Mm.
I mean, and they're all. I mean, there's some classics, like.
But I think when you hold a VHS tape, and I'm sure most people that are into them agree with me, you actually feel like you've got what you paid for.
Yeah.
It's great downloading movies nowadays, and having them on DVD or USB stick, but it's just not the same as having to rewind a cassette. Yeah. And I know vinyl's coming back, and I guarantee at some point VHS will come back.
Well, yeah, because I mean, some of the more trendier record shops and shops in London, especially places like Shoreditch and Hoxton, and some record labels have started releasing cassettes there.
Yeah.
So cassettes are coming back.
That's right.
And some of them are just like limited edition cassettes and things. But I mean, who'd have thought that people would be buying cassettes again, and perhaps dusting off the old Walkman,
Crazy. And there's something different about the sound on a cassette. Years ago, you probably used to do it on a Sunday. I used to tape the radio and try and cut out the adverts with a pause button to try and just, it was brilliant. It was fun doing it. Probably illegal at the time, but didn't realise it was illegal.
No, there used to be a big poster years ago with Home Taping is Killing Music.
That's right.
Had a cassette with skull and crossbones on it. But everyone used to tape the Top 40 or John Peel Show and things like that. Yeah. And the cassettes. I mean, I've still got some cassettes indoors that I bought when they come out. Yeah. Like from Woolworths, and they still play. They still play. So they do last a long time.
No.
But,
All right then, guys. Yeah. We're going to call it a night there, but it's good to be back on again, and we'll upload some more videos soon. It's been good watching everyone's videos and enjoying all the comments and new subscribers and old subscribers as well that have been with us for quite some time. Keep watching.